Good Sunday morning. And yes, it's the very last day of May. May is over and we have shows. We have shows this week. We have 3 shows total. Plus, if you count Church Pew Review, have that we're doing this week as well. Actually, today. But let's get to it. So, the Rents. You are probably looking at this possibly for the first time. The show previews for the Chateau de Marseille studio on the brand spanking new Rents YouTube channel. So there you go. We're on Brad's Facebook for that. Rents is on his Facebook, and we're on his YouTube channel, and he is growing that show. He's added Drew Weingarten to the cast. He's as we call Brad, our lovable Democrat on the mouthwash. Drew is his lovable Republican. Oh, actually, I'm sorry, libertarian. He's jumped ship and he is a libertarian now. And then Mark Small, who is, I don't know if he knows what he is. He says he's a Republican, but he is a Democrat. So there you go. That pretty much sums up the interesting conversations they have on that show. And that's at 7:30 on Sundays, The Rents. And that's Brad Sawinski is the host. He is the creator. He is the man. He does it all. All he does is have access to this. I can't claim any credit for other than giving the avenue, the platform for him to do a show. And I just wanted to say a shout out for the ball game that we went to that Brad sort of organized. And I jokingly said, this is how Democrats work. They come up with ideas and they get them halfway done. And then you got to have a Republican come through and finish it up, which was me finishing up getting everybody together. So we had a good time. I actually caught a foul ball and beat the kids to it, and didn't get a video of me beating a kid up to get the ball. It was really good. We had just a wonderful time at the ballpark. The Indians didn't win, but we didn't care. We had a fun time. I think we might even do it again someday. So that was fun. So now let's get down to business. So, I don't know if you saw that, Abdul, he's really falling from grace at faster than one of Elon Musk's spaceships come back down to Earth. He's fallen from grace. So here I'm going to put up something. This was the David Waters case. Abdul had this brilliant idea to sue David Waters and other people, including myself, about defamation, because he did so well against Gabe Whitley, who didn't defend himself. He thought, I'm going to make a fortune doing this. Well, he sued David Waters. Unfortunately, what David Waters said was true. And the judge said, hey, so David Waters put a anti-slap back on Abdul. And this was the judgment in April. The judge agreed. He said, well, this is a frivolous lawsuit. It's dismissed. Well, okay. So that wasn't good enough for Abdul. So now the anti-slap, basically, in Indiana, you will be able to get your attorney fees back from the person who's charging you. So the plaintiff, I guess, I don't know what, and it gets backwards when you do the anti-slap. So anyway, Abdul's got to pay the attorney's fees, not only for this case, but for Jeremiah TV Ball's case too, as well. Up in Kokomo, he lost that one. He lost the slap. He's got to pay up. He's got to pay up for these attorney fees, and they are in the thousands of dollars. And then so Abdul has this brilliant idea to file a motion of correction, basically saying, you judges are dumb. You don't know what you're doing. You've made a mistake on this. And so he files this motion, I think, just to drag it out so he doesn't have to pay. Well, here we go. This was a good one. This is the order that came in just the other day. Guess what? No, we're not doing that. You're done. It's been denied. On to the next thing. Last I heard, he's going to appeal it to another level, which, keep in mind that all this time, if he does not win, he is going to have to pay all these attorney fees that he is putting on himself. He could just stop right now. He could stop right now and say, okay, I lost. But he's a super lawyer, so he's so smart. So I asked myself, is he just going to ride these things out and claim bankruptcy at the end? There's got to be some reason why he's not concerned with running up attorney fees, because right now he is lost. Yeah, Spiro denied. Yeah, Spiro. He called Spiro a bad name on the Facebook, but yet he sues other people for defamation. But we're seeing how that works out. In my case, the stuff was drawn up. I have anti-slap against Abdul. It was drawn up, turned in by the 28th, and the judge said he would decide the issue. And we're seeing mine's not as open as shut as David Waters, and I don't know the details on Haas's, but Abdul lost that. So we are probably thinking he's going to lose another case, and then he's going to have to pay my attorney fees and all that stuff. So. And also, he's just lost. He wasn't real credible. He's a gossip guy. He just spreads gossip, works for the establishment, spreading gossip about people, does half-truth stories to make people look bad, does not show the other side of what possibly could have happened or whatever. Or maybe he doesn't even prove that the $40,000 on his campaign finance reports is gone missing. He doesn't seem to care about that. But the judge said, hey, Abdul, you didn't prove that the $40,000 didn't go missing. And no, you can't say just because the election board didn't investigate it is the reason. You need to fix the report or something. I don't know. Your problem. But anyway, I hope he does well on his other stuff so he can get some money to pay all these attorney fees because he is losing. Oh, yeah. Here it is. This is how good. Eddie didn't even fight the guy. He was suing Eddie, too. He was after me. But Eddie decided, I'm not even going to go give this guy the time of the day. So Eddie lost. He lost to Abdul. Oh, it was terrible. So Abdul had to pay $232 to file the claim. And I don't know if the judge did this just to troll him or whatever, but the judge awarded Abdul $250. So that was a net gain of $18. Now, you're probably thinking, now, why did he do that? Well, the judge gave him a little bit of something so he can't come back and sue and keep this, he just clogs up the court with paperwork. And with, on David Waters' case, he filed 85 motions or filings or whatever on his case, 85, just to run the bill up, to make it look like he's doing something. I don't put something in the record. I don't even know what to say. It's ridiculous, but it is time for him to pay the piper. And you won't see him talking about defamation cases anymore, but I'm certainly able to post the results up there. Let's just put that up again. That was just so much fun to do that. Oh, look at that. That's denied. Hey, the super lawyer takes another L. And, there's a lot of people that are rejoicing and dancing in the street. This guy is getting his, as my wife would say from Arkansas, comeuppance. He's getting his comeuppance. So anyway, we have that. Okay, now on to the next one. This is hilarious. So as you know, I'm a delegate. And I'm going up to the thing, and I have my Florida thing up here. I'm going out, actually head down to Florida for a couple of weeks before this convention. So this Tuesday will be here in Indy, but the next Tuesday will be out down in Florida. I have some guests lined up. So let's get Eddie's thing off there. Although I do enjoy that Eddie took it to him without doing anything. If I knew that would work, I'd have done that too. But anyway, it's a lot cheaper. And he only got off for $250. I'm up to about $5,000 on legal fees against this guy. So anyway, we have that. And then so yeah, that's there's not a lot of people are really concerned for Abdul and all that. So we'll just see how mine plays out. I'm supposed to get it in a couple of weeks. Hopefully we come out victorious on that. If not, I go to trial, and he's got really no case. So we'll see. I have the same judge as David Waters. It's just not lining up real well for Abdul. So anyway, that being said, the delegate. So we have a bed Airbnb up there in Fort Wayne, and a lot of people come up to me and say, "Hey, John, I heard you moved to Florida. You're not here anymore." And I'd say some of those Republicans are glad I'm gone. I think they'd help me move. They'd help me pack up my car and say, "Hey, go on, Lil, you're causing all this troubles." Well, I'm still here. Until I actually move my homestead and stay down there for the time period. I'm still an Indiana resident. Now, I do have I did register my truck in Indiana because Florida, actually, it used to be cheaper to get a license plate in Florida, but now it's not. So I registered it here in Indiana. But now Marion County's wanting to put a more tax on us for the nasty roads we have. They don't have enough contractors to do the work. They don't have enough contractors to do the work. They don't get 3 bids on every job. These contractors come in, they take forever to do this. They're supposed to have a percentage of minority contractors. They have none or zero, very little of those. They are not following their own rules on how to do these things. They're basically hamming and egging it. They got a hairdresser for the Department of Public Works. Nothing against hairdressers, but I don't see a whole lot of them out working on the roads, or they've had any experience working on the roads. So it's just a hot mess. So we'll be covering that. The mayor's race is coming up in the next year. We'll be covering some of that. But, I got one foot out the door. I'm sorry. I can't, Marion County is, the Natalie Goodwin thing, letting the GOP just go to total dumpster in Marion County. I just feel like I'm riding in the bus going off a cliff with a bunch of other people, and we have nothing we can do about it. I didn't really want to talk about that on here, but it just came to my mind. But anyway, we have the Airbnb up there. I think we have 7 people in it now, and we're a few blocks from the convention center. And we did this out for the inauguration with another group of people out in DC, the Airbnb for that. And we had a ball. It was fun. It's just way better than the hotel. Got a bunch of bedrooms. It's just a lot of fun. So we're going to go up there to the convention on the 18th and 19th, the Friday and Saturday. And it is turning out to be a wild one. Now we have the treasurer up, Daniel Elliott, solid guy. We got Elise Nashala. Took me like a few years to say it. Elise Nashala. She is the comptroller, used to be the auditor, solid. And then we have the Secretary of State race. What a mess. We could have an independent Greg Ballard in there. I just found out that he spent $150,000 having people go out and get signatures for him to get on the ballot. So hopefully he gets there. But I have some experience with this signature getting deal, and it's tricky. But it looks like he's actually making, and I wonder where that $150,000 came from. That's a question we might have. Maybe Diego could help him with his India trip, how to dodge that, where that 150 came from. But anyway, so then Secretary of State. Then we have 4 Republicans in there. We got a couple Democrats battling it out. Now that's the Democrat convention is going to be, I think, June 5th. Going to be, I think, next weekend is the Democrat convention. They're going to pick either Blythe Potter or Bobai. It looks like there may be another one in there, but those are the 2 front runners that are going on that. So we'll see if we're going to get the carpetbagger or the local gal that people love. So that's sort of what I've been hearing from the other side, because as you know, at Mouthwash here, we try to get every side of the story. And then, of course, speaking of the Libertarians, they are picking their slate, or they already have. I know that the Indiana guy just got made the national guy. Maybe he'll be wearing a boot on his head like that guy before. But anyway, it's going to heat up. So anyway, okay, that was a long story to get to this. So I'm getting mailers now, and that. So I get this one the other day. Here's one. Boy, this one's this is a little bit tough here. So apparently the mail already went out before Rokita pulled his endorsement, because apparently it's the last straw. Diego's made the last straw. The trip to India, hiring his brother-in-law, the horrible job he did in front of the Ways and Means Committee that he was supposed to be asking for his money, and Ed Delaney just undressed him. I mean, just made him look horrible. That wasn't enough. But apparently the hiring of this of some, I don't know, one of his staff members was the final straw. But that's the excuse they use. But so, I got a mailer with Banks on there too. What a mess. What a mess. If you're going to endorse somebody, stick with them. Loyalty is something. It means something. But they've jumped to this new guy, the new shiny object that is coming out. And I've talked to Max. I'd send him a message, because I'm getting text messages at anytime, call me. So I called him. It took him a day to get back with me, but he did. And I talked to him. I'd say he's a fine young man. I say young. He's only 40 something, but young to me. And do I think you do a good job with this? Yeah, I think we're going to get the same party people, because he doesn't have any experience with elections. I did listen to Jamie Rittenauer. She did a interview with Rob Kendall, and I think there's another YouTube one going around. And you know what? If you're a grassroots. I want paper ballots. We want to look at all this stuff. She talked about how the powers of the Secretary of State were stripped in 2012, just similar to like Micah Beckwith powers were stripped of the lieutenant governor, never put back in. And my problem with that is Marion County has, in my opinion, a rogue election board who will not investigate anything. A fine example of Abdul's campaign finance. Between one and the other, $40,000 went missing. Nobody cares. They just don't care. In fact, the judge it's on the record that the judge said, hey, you haven't proved that it's not gone. And that's why he lost his case, because that was the premise. That was the main topic of that case was, hey, where's your finance? I want an investigation. That's how that ended up happening. So how do we hold these local election boards accountable? I've talked to David Shelton about this, and he acts like we want to have an election police. But that's a very big issue for me. How do we hold these election boards accountable when you have Democrats controlling the prosecutor? Because that's their thing. They say, well, you go to the prosecutor, and the prosecutor will. Well, he doesn't have to prosecute anything, and he's certainly not going to prosecute his good buddy Kate Sweeney Bell. So that is off the table. So they can do whatever they want, and we have to live with this. Us plebes, us serfs over here in the Marsville, we have to live with that. So anyway, I'm getting a little ranty and ravey here this morning. I just wanted to give you show previews. That's what I want to give you. So we got Whitty reviews. Whitty he's incorrigible. That Whitty is incorrigible. You meet him in person. He's a nice, fuzzy, warm guy, like he says. But man, you get him behind that internet. He's like digging, and he's not going to give you any quorum at all. If you want, just recap the Sid Mahant race, how he went hard after Sid, and I think it did have an effect on his outcome. But he is a guy that really grinds the axe over some stuff that's just unjust, and he really, he takes the time to read all this stuff, and he gives you the analysis. A lot of times it's like he wants to put him in the ditch and pour petrol on him and light him on fire, but he will give you what's the tea, as he calls it. Here's the sauce. He will give you the sauce on that. So he's going to be talking about stuff this Tuesday. That's at 8:00. Whitty reviews. And I've already covered the rinse. That's tonight at 7:30. Brad is really give him a watch, because Brad is really trying hard to get this together. And I'm just very proud of how he's loves coming on the mouthwash, and he's really picked up this stuff. And I do believe he is getting better at doing all this stuff. And it takes a lot of practice. It is hard to do this. John Rust actually came to the ball game with us. We had a very interesting crowd there. We had about 20, 25 people there, and we were from all walks of life, but we had just a ball talking. We were out there in right field, so to speak, way out. And we were, that saying, you're out in left field. Well, we were out in right field, and talking about things. And I was talking to John, because John does a radio show on Freedom 95. And I think I see Aiden on here. Aiden has been on the John Rush show with me. We talked about the Marion County plight of the GOP. And we looked at each other and said, I don't know how these people do a show every day. I said, I can barely scrape together in a week what to do for our show. So, and I know Whitty does more than one too, but he is really immersed into the atmosphere here, the Marion County, the political scene, the whatever's going on, the crime scene. He's really wants to make our community better. And he wants to expose the people that aren't doing the job that they've been hired to do as elected officials. So in that regard, Whitty is that's a great public service. You should watch his show at 8:00. He goes over some stuff, makes it entertaining. He definitely got some stuff. I've got him down to only 2 or 3 F-bombs per show. So that's good. It's good. Here at the Chateau d'Arts Marcel studio, we like to think we're a family organization. I don't know any kids that watch politics or whatever. So anyway, and then the mouthwash. So I'm working on Curtis Hill to come on as our guest, but I could get Micah Beckwith, because I don't know if you saw his little comment about the Muslims, or actually not the Muslims. He talked about the Islam, the faith of the Islam being a cult. He loves the people, but hates the the vehicle they're in. So I could probably get him to come on, but I want to try to focus on the upcoming Secretary of State race. As you might remember, in 2022, we had a attorney general race where it was not in person. We had to vote electronically or whatever. I can't remember how we did it, but we weren't in person. Curtis had the most votes on the first round, but he didn't have 50% plus one vote. You have to have a majority, a simple majority, and it's ranked choice voting. So the next person that's out, those voters can go to somebody else. Well, Todd Rokita slipped in there on the second one and beat him. So I wanted to get his take on the thing. And yes, Curtis is a delegate. I'm not sure if his wife is or not, but I know they're both going to be up at the convention. And we're going to have some fun times there. We'll see if Curtis can get on Tuesday. Otherwise, we may just have a panel discussion about this as well. But we are, let's see what we got. Drew has a little Micah Beckwith thing there. He's a plague or a plaque. If you turn the G around it, it could be a plaque. But anyway, that's what we have there. One last thing, then I'll let you go. Church Pew Review. I call it CPR. Church Pew Review. CPR. I didn't know that acronym was there, but CPR, it could be, bringing back religion with CPR. I don't know. But anyway, I'm going to go to the Rise Church today. I thought about the mosque, going to the mosque because of the Micah Beckwith thing. I thought, well, how to go out there? I'm going to go out there. I'll probably do that in Florida. I'll go to a mosque in Florida just because I need something to go to. And if you have a suggestion, I know some people have suggested some churches I go to. The Rinse, I saw the Rinse on my Facebook page, and I'm probably getting some of these church algorithms fired up because I go to a different church every week, and sometimes two. So I'm probably going to get some advertising on that. But hey, I say if you're a church out there, advertise. Get people to come in the door, but have a product that when they do come in the door, that they want to stay. That's my job. I come to your church, I review it. I'm not going to go through your religion per se. I might say a couple little tidbits about what the religion's about. You have to do your own research on what that religion is. I'm going to give you a take on the facility, the friendliness of the people, what it's about, maybe how long a service is, and obviously I'm going to review the church pews. So and it's funny, I went out to the Sikhs and they don't have a church pew. You just sit on the floor. So interesting things. I was talking to a few young people yesterday, and they were asking me which was my most interesting church. I'm like, wow, I didn't know that. I've enjoyed all of them. The Sikh temple was very eye-opening because I didn't know. I knew some about the Sikh, but I didn't know their mission and some of their history. And they were super nice. And and I would say the Chin church that I went to a couple weeks ago was very it was good. I liked it a lot. So I don't understand Chin, but they gave me a translator, so it was very good. So anyway, that's Church Pew Review today. The Rise. It says 10:30 uptown here, so I'm going to that. Let's see what else. Is there anything else? Anybody in the I see a bunch of people in the comments this morning. Usually, I don't have all this. So, yep. So that's what we have. We have all that stuff coming on for this week. Tonight, the Rinse, Brad Sawinski, Drew Weingarten, Mark Small, the three amigos on the Rinse. 7:30 tonight. We have Witty Reviews, 8 o'clock on Tuesday, 9 o'clock, the Mouthwash Show. Hopefully we can get Curtis on and we can have a good, lively discussion about the whole delegate process and all that. So that being said, let's see, which ending do I want to play here? I'm just going to play the regular one. We'll see y'all this week. Watch our shows. Share. We are getting more people. We get more people by the day that are following the Mouthwash. We're getting close to 2,500 followers, and that's good because that means we're at least getting a few more every week and every month. So, but that's what we have, and I will see you on the Mouthwash Show at 9 p.m. and the Rinse at 7:30 and Witty Reviews at 8. Adios, amigos.